Now, Keith Mongan, the first full-time golf pro
Yeah,
in
first
Westport.
full time. Yeah.
Full-time,
From
yeah.
I came in, I think February, March of 1988,
Yeah.
and I would have left in 19 early stage of 1990.
And how did it come about? Can you remember how it came about?
I did. I'd been working for a while in the States, and I came home, and I was approached by McGregor Golf, who at the time would have been one of the probably the biggest golf companies certainly in Europe. They were connected with Jack Nicklaus, and they approached me about would I be interested in going to a championship golf course in the west of Ireland, which was and wouldn't give me any other information, and so yeah, I came down and did a bit of interviewing, and the rest was history.
Well, that was a big coup for Westport at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, because McGregor would have been huge. They were actually manufacturing golf bags in Dublin. They had a big operation, but I think they would have recognised that here was a championship golf course that that probably should have had the services of a PGA professional, and I think that was the thinking behind it. And Eddie Higgins, who would have been the man, one of the top men in McGregor, certainly he had some connections in the town, and it just started from there.
Mm. Who was captain that time?
Well, you were the captain it's a while ago now, but the recollection is you were in 1988. You were the captain, and I came down. We did the interview, and then after that, I think it was.
And can you remember who else was on the interview board at the time?
I think Steve Goggins and
Pat Murphy. Yeah.
Murphy, yeah.
Pat Murphy,
yeah.
I think he was.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And what was the plan when McGregor?
Well, the plan was it was a retail outlet for McGregor. Like the normal sort of way a pro worked was that the pro would have stocked the shop himself, but the shop was stocked by McGregor. So the Westport got the benefit of a professional, the services of a shop, lessons, club repair, things like that. And in the shop we used to take the green fees and the competition entry fees. So McGregor got sales of all their equipment, and Westport got a pro, and I had a job.
And what was your job to do? What did you do there?
Well, I ran the shop.
Yeah.
I gave lessons, and I would have run sort of the time sheets just for competitions and things like that. I remember the open weeks was, very extremely busy time, so I'd have always run the entries in the competition or the first tee for during open weeks. So it was just really looking after the members and the visitors to the club.
And what were you doing before that?
Before that, I'd spent 2 years in California in a place called the Olympic Club in San Francisco. So I worked there in 1987. Came home. The Olympic Club hosted the US Open in 1987, and I came back to Ireland, and I had no job. That's very soon after that when I was back. I was approached by Eddie in McGregor. So I said, listen, here's an opportunity you might be interested in.
And how did you get into golf originally?
Golf originally was caddying for my father in Killiney Golf Club, small 9-hole golf course in South County Dublin, and I liked it, and I played a bit of rugby at school. Went to school where rugby was sort of a way of life, and I got an injured Christmas one year. I got an injury in my back, and started playing a bit more golf, and then I just suddenly realised here was something I liked and was good at it, and on I went. So.
And did you serve a bit of time as?
Yeah, I went to at the time. I went. Much to my father. My father wasn't overly keen on the idea, but I became an assistant professional, which was a kind of an apprenticeship. But I worked in Royal Dublin, which would have been probably the best pro shop in the country, long before the likes of McGurk's and the big superstores, if you like. So Leonard ran a good business there, and I went there and worked there from 1981. So I worked in, and I finished up in Royal Dublin in 1985, and then I got the opportunity to go to work in California, which was terrific, and off I went.
Who was the pro over there? Can you remember?
There was a guy called Chris Roderick, who was an interesting guy. He was from Ohio. He'd worked at Muirfield Village, which was a Jack Nicklaus company, or Jack Nicklaus' own golf course where they played the Memorial Tournament. And he was the opportunity to go came through a family friend who was in the golf business in California. So the Olympic Club was super. There were a lot of Irish members, a lot of Irish membership, and but it was a great place, great golf course, fantastic golf course.
And when you come back to Westport, then how long were you here for?
I was here for, I think, almost 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
Almost 3 years.
Who did you get to know in Westport at the time?
A lot of people really. I suppose. Well, the captains would have been Aidan Redmond, I think, and Colin O'Neill, Jack Braden. I was friendly with Dennis O'Sullivan, who unfortunately is no longer here. But it was a fantastic experience. I really enjoyed it.
You liked it, yeah?
Yeah, it was. Everybody knew it was small enough where everybody knew everybody, and I think when you come from Dublin and had been away, is to come to a small town where everybody sort of knew you know, it was just a lovely atmosphere. Really nice.
And what do you think of the course in Westport?
Of course, fantastic. Yeah.
You like it,
I think
yeah?
initially I would have known about it because they hosted the Close, so the Irish Close, which is the Irish Amateur Championship in I think maybe the late 70s, and it was it had the weather was poor and the course was exceptionally difficult. So the word out there was, well, Westport's very difficult. Now it's a challenge, but it's a fantastic challenge. I mean, it is the town should be very proud of it. It's a fantastic facility.
Yeah, it came about because when I came in as captain, and a couple of the guys and the club was in a bad financial state at the time, and we done a lot of advertising on the back of the Independent.
Yeah.
And this idea of having a pro came up.
Yeah.
So I think it kind of evolved from that. But it worked out very well actually, and it's maintained itself since, more or less. So you're back to Westport for a visit again?
Absolutely, yeah.
Enjoying it?
Yeah, having a great time.
Okay, right, yeah. Keith, golf is undergoing a little bit of a change, is it?
Yeah, golf it has undergone. I think it's. I think it's on the way up this year. I mean, I'm based now in Kilkenny. One of the things I do is I still do some teaching, and this year I think there's definitely an upturn. A lot of clubs are becoming more proactive in realizing that they have to make golf a bit more, I suppose, more sexy. You know, it's got to be encourage young people. So a lot of the clubs, particularly in Kilkenny, would be, and I think it's countrywide, are doing deals where if you're under 30, that you can get in for quite small money. And there's the ILGU and the GUI with the PGA are doing a lot of coaching for people who are trying to take up, just encourage people to play golf. I think it has I suppose during the recession it was a luxury, and lots of people realised, well, you know, I just paid the sub every year, but I wasn't really playing much golf, so it was one of the first things that went. So definitely there was a massive downturn. But I think now I think we're having a guy like Rory McIlroy, who's, you know, one of the charismatic figure, being from Ireland. I mean, he's done fantastic work. I think he's promoted the Irish Open back to.
There are a lot of Irish guys out there, aren't there?
Yeah,
there's a great batch out there at the minute.
And the GUI, what surprised me is, I mean, a lot of coaching goes into if you show any sort of interest, which is the most important thing, I suppose, maybe as opposed to potential, is that you get some coaching, and then if you sort of show potential, you go in under the GUI, and you get a lot of coaching, and they're well looked after and well, you know, they get great opportunities, and that's why we produce lots of young talented golfers.
And I'd say the recent exercise boom isn't helping either. That people on bikes and running.
Absolutely, yeah. Bikes would have. I think. I mean, that was, everybody knows the saying, cycling is the new golf. But I think, I mean, there's the health sort of. People realise you could run or cycle, you know, maybe running particularly, or exercising, walking for without any cost outlay. But but I'm sort of optimistic about golf now again.
So you're doing a bit of golf and you're doing a bit of promotion.
Yeah, I do some golf lessons, and I have a business with a friend of mine. We have a company called Pedal and Putt, which he's a cyclist and I'm a golfer, so we do golf and cycling holidays into Ireland. We have golfwild.ie, ridewild.ie, and we've just got walkwild.ie, which is they're doing it's holidays, a lot of it along the Wild Atlantic Way, which I have to say we're doing a bit of work with Tourism Ireland, and the marketing they've done of the country is just phenomenal, because we have the product. I mean, it's spectacular all along the west coast. So that's going. That's in the early stages, but it's so far so good.
It kind of took somebody else to point it out to us, didn't it? We were looking at it all our lives.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And we never kind of really looked at it, did we?
Yeah.
Well, we never looked at its potential.
It's always when it's what's sort of on your doorstep. Usually, people would sort of we don't appreciate it, you know. But it's stunning. We have a stunning country.